Alright guys, I'm sure you've been in this situation. Let me know if this sounds familiar to you. You're fencing someone super strong, and this person is just slowly pushing you down, a slow push, and they're hiding their blade. And they have right of way. They're not stopping. They're moving very slowly, but every time you counterattack, somehow this person's good enough to put their blade on. Maybe they flick you, maybe they just have very accurate point control, but you can't seem to counterattack. So you're like, okay, I know. I'll try to,
I'll try to find the blade, and I'll try searching for the blade, and that doesn't seem to work either.
work. So you're like, okay, fine, I'm going to try to wait for them to try to hit me, and that doesn't work because their attack is lightning fast. Once they get into their striking distance, which we've covered in a different video, they're just going to shoot their shot and hit you, and you just are at a complete loss. So what can you do? Well, that's what this video is about.
Alright, so let's start off with some context. We're going to be talking about Daniele Garozzo. He very recently retired, but he's famous for winning the 2016 games in Rio, and he revolutionized the sport by kind of making slow push the meta, where for a solid couple years people were really just trying to come forward very slowly, hold on to right of way, and then finish. And when right of way, when the timing changed, actually when I was a kid, it was really hard for people to actually hit. And he was like, wait a minute, what if I can just put my light on every single time? And he really changed things, and you can see this is his pedigree. He's pretty famous, and you probably know who he is. On the other side, we're going to have Chase Emmer, who is, I think this is his first World Cup, and he went on to go and get third place, and earn third place. So really great result from him, and we're going to look at how he did that. Alright guys, so this is the start of the second period, and it's kind of an interesting point to start in the match, I know, but there's a reason. The two almost touches you're going to see here, one's a counterattack and the other one's almost a parry post. I'm choosing to start here because you're going to see every threat that Chase creates. He's going to use a half step or a hop forward with a search, and a half step and a hop with a search back in order to establish these threats. And there's four major threats we're looking for. So you'll notice Garozzo is going to come forward. He's already hiding his blade in 3. Threat number 1 is that Chase is going to come in with a search. He's getting closer with a hop and searching for the blade, threatening to take the blade that way, forcing Garozzo to start pulling his arm even further back. This directly leads to threat number 2, where he counters inward. He pokes and then closes in the distance. And here we're going to see threat number 3, where he tries to poke run away. And I'm going to slow it down so you can see how he forces him to pull, but this is going to come into play later. And finally, we have threat number 4, okay, the parry repost. Here, he invites and tries to get Garozzo to finish, and this time takes the blade with a step back. Again, he almost hits that touch. And here we have every touch you're actually really going to see from this point forward, with few exceptions. There are a couple attacks here and there, but let's see how these four threats play into each other. Alright guys, so now we're going to actually look at how this whole system actually plays out the rest of the match.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Alright, so this is a moment that I want to talk about that I think is interesting. This is one of the only touches that we talked about earlier. Here, Chase actually attacks, and that's really smart because he's shown a lot of defensive options. So at ready fence, instead of giving Garozzo time to think, he just goes for a straight attack, which really catches him off guard. So this is a really nice mix-up.
You can't keep getting away with it!
So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. You might be wondering, what could Garozzo have done differently, getting down in that hole? And, there's a lot of answers to that question, but personally, I think one thing you never actually see him try, and you almost never see him try in general, is just doing a fake attack. He's very honest with his attack. He really wants to finish, and I think a really easy way to expand his game would be to do a little bit more second intention. He changes his rhythm a lot, which I like, but he never just tries to say, you know what, fine, I'm going to fail on purpose, and then work the blade from there. So I think that's something he could have done different. And finally, you might be having trouble with your defense, and I just want to go back to that clip from Massialas and Garozzo earlier. You can see Massialas is also searching for the blade, but he doesn't actually establish the threat of taking it because you can see he kind of does it moving backward. There's never that forward motion that forces Garozzo to pull his arm back. Like, yes, he's making this quick blade storm, but Garozzo never feels like he has to worry about it because there's never a forward motion with it. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and let me know if you have any other questions, and yeah, I'll see you next time.